Hey everybody, welcome back to Project Happy Home. For those of you who are new here, welcome. I'm Tanya, doctor, lawyer turned homeschooling mom of 3 kids ages 8, 5, and 3. This video will be about my New Year's resolutions in general for my life, not so much about homeschooling. If you want to see a video about my homeschooling resolutions, I'll link it up above or below and you can check those out. In terms of my resolutions for this year, you'll know that I don't really believe in creating a long list of resolutions because I think you're setting yourself up for failure, and I'd rather set myself up for success. My resolution last year was simply to improve my relationship with my son, and I'm happy to say that I truly believe that we did. My husband and I worked together and really were partners in improving how we behaved with our son and how we took care of his heart. My son has ADHD, which can prove challenging in many ways and also delightful in others. And I think we did a really good job of learning more about ADHD, learning more about ourselves and our reactions, and trying to improve how we parent him in terms of guarding his heart and his spirit and allowing him to thrive. I hope to continue that, and I know it'll be continuous effort on both our parts, and I'm happy to continue doing that. This year, my overarching goal is to minimize my life. And when I talk about minimalism, I'm really talking about essentialism. I'm talking about focusing on what is essential to our lives and living in line with our values. If you listen to the podcast, The Minimalist, you'll hear that repeated often. That idea that minimalism is not so much about the amount of things you have as it is about living in line with your values. And I think one major step that my husband and I have taken in that line of being more true to ourselves and our values is to downsize through a series of events, whether unfortunate or fortunate, depends upon how you look at it. We have decided to buy a house that's approximately 2,000 square feet smaller than our previous home. And that will be very challenging in many ways, but will also force us to minimize, quite literally, about half our possessions. And I think that will be enormously freeing. But beyond things, minimalism to me really revolves around this concept of being honest. And honesty for me is probably the most important value of them all. And I don't mean to say that it should be the most important value for everyone. It just happens to be my most important value. I think several people would say that love and giving and compassion might be more important values, and that's wonderful. And it certainly takes all different types of people to make the world as interesting as it is. For me personally, it is honesty and authenticity. And so going forward, I want to make every aspect of my life, every action, every interaction as honest as I can make it. That extends from everywhere from my intimate family, my relationship with my husband, my children, my friends, my parents, my siblings, my extended family, and also you viewers. I think I'm a fairly honest person as it is, but I do participate in a lot of social niceties that grate upon me sometimes. And even as a child, I would rebel a little bit internally against certain things that I thought were less than honest. Little social things that we have to do that is less than honest. For example, if somebody asks you to a party and you happen to know them and you feel like the immediate polite response is to say, yes, sure, I'll look into it, I'll see if I'm free. I want to stop doing that. If I am involved with someone who I know that I don't want to pursue a friendship with, who doesn't rub me the right way, or who I just don't click with, they might be a perfectly nice person, I want to start minimizing that emotional tension from my life. I want to minimize events from my life that don't add anything of value to my life. And I want to be honest enough to look at them in that moment and say, you know what, I don't think we'll be free. Or I think we're pretty busy this season, but thank you so much for the invitation. And, I do appreciate the invitation. It is kind of them to invite me, but I want to be honest and upfront with my dealings with people and avoid the social niceties. I think sometimes we feel like politeness should win the day. And I think that's true unless it costs you something emotionally. If it creates this negative tension in your head, this worry, this thing that you take home where you say, oh, I said to them that I would get back to them, and now I have to come up with an excuse and think of something. That's all time away from your life. That's all mental clutter in your head. And I'd like to eliminate as much of that as possible from my life. I think that I should be okay with whatever other people think of me, so long as I was being honest and kind and not doing anything out of malice or spite. And whether they feel positively about me or not is truly none of my concern. But to the extent that I can minimize my own mental clutter, I am going to try. So in that vein, I have started to withdraw a little bit from a lot of my extended social circle. And the reason for that is because I've realized that whoever does not contribute to my life or my growth or my joy takes a lot of attention away from all the people in my life that do. For every moment that I spend worrying about that party or going to that party that I didn't want to go to, that is time spent away from quality time spent with my kids, with my family, with the friends who truly matter. I have some very close friends who are the types of people that maintain close friendships with dozens of people, and they enjoy being the source of comfort and a confidant for many people. And I think it gives them a sense of worth and value. And if that is the case, that's great for them. But I am not that type of person. Friendships that don't enrich my life don't serve me. And I don't mean that they must be friendships that are constant or present or, we talk every day or anything like that. I simply mean that gut feeling, when you see someone call you or text you, what is your gut response? Is it, oh, I have to call that person. I haven't talked to them in a long time. I should really get on that. Or is it delight? And if it's not delight, if it's not this swell of love, then I think that you might want to rethink that, including that in your life, because it is taking up mental space. And I know as a mom and as a wife and a friend, the people I truly care about already take up a lot of mental space. And I know that I don't do enough for them. And I know that I'm not with them as much as I would like. And I know that I don't talk to some people that I truly care about as much as I would like. And every moment that I spend on lesser things and extraneous people takes away from that. So I want to be very, very intentional in my life about the people I talk to, about the activities we do. There are some things that we have done in the past, especially for homeschooling, where I know that I'm doing it because I feel like I should be doing it. And I simply want to eliminate that word should. I want to do things because I want to do them, because they are wonderful additions to my life, because they make me happy, because they make me come alive, and they make my kids come alive. And if they don't, I want to eliminate them. So going forward, that is my goal for this year, is just to be as true to myself and my values as possible, to encourage my true friendships to thrive, to put my care and attention on my true interests and my children's true interests, and to let all the shoulds fall by the wayside. So that is my New Year's resolution for this year, and I truly hope that I stick to it, not only for this year, but for the rest of my life. I'm really curious to know what some of your New Year's resolutions are as well. So if you'd share them down in the comments below, I'll be so excited to see what everyone's planning. And I wish you the best year up ahead in 2018. I hope it is a year where you are authentic to yourself and your values, and you have just love and joy and exciting surprises around the bend. So thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate all of you. Stay tuned. I'm probably going to have less videos in the month of January as we settle in, but I hope to rectify that by February. Thanks so much again for watching, and Happy New Year.